Hello guys, welcome to today's video. So today we'll be discussing about the organization which is the DFCCIL. So DFCCIL stands for the Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India. So it is a unit under the Ministry of Railways India. So what was the need to establish this organization? In the year 2000, somewhere in the year 2004-5, the government of India felt that in the future, in order to boost the Indian economy, the transportation would be the key, and also the transportation of the materials, which is the cargo, so that is essential. So to have the high-speed transportation and to cater to the future demands, the Ministry of Railway decided that they need to have a separate unit so that they can handle only this cargo or the freight. So it was conceptualized in 2005. So in the year 2005 itself, the Indian government, they had a meeting with the Japan India summit. So in that meeting, they decided that the government of Japan will also do some possible study, and they will fund this project for the government of India. So in the meantime, in the year 2005, so this Ministry of Railways, they decided to establish a special purpose vehicle. So this is the name that was given for this project. So it was meant for the construction, operation, and the maintenance of this dedicated freight corridors. So this led to the establishment of the DFCCIL. So what they'll be doing is they'll be doing the planning, they'll be doing the development and the construction, maintenance, and operations. So all these things will be taken care by this unit DFCCIL related to these freight corridors. So this DFCCIL was established. Finally, it was established in under the Companies Act 1956 on 30 October 2006. Though the project was conceptualized in 2005, the company came into existence on 30 October 2006. So moving ahead to the details of the organization. So as I have said, so DFCCIL is a PSU. It is a Schedule A PSU, and it is under the administrative control of the Ministry of Railways under the Government of India. So what it was built for is to have a high capacity, high speed rail freight corridors along the Golden Quadrilateral. So in India, the Golden Quadrilateral project connects the four metropolitan cities, which is the Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Howrah or the Kolkata, and also along the two diagonals, that is the Delhi and Chennai and the Mumbai Howrah. So along these six lines, they wanted to have this dedicated freight corridors. So this will be taken care by DFCCIL. So initially in the first phase, the company started the construction of the corridors along the eastern dedicated freight corridor along the Ludhiana and Delhi Kolkata line, and in the western side they started construction on the Mumbai and Delhi corridor. So coming to the headquarters of this company, so this company has a corporate head office in the New Delhi, and like they have many field units in Ambala, Meerut, Tundla, Prayagraj, and so many other places as shown here. So now moving ahead to the mission of this company. So what is the mission of this company? If you see, as we have said, the mission is to have a high speed corridor, so that in order to meet the future demands. And also one of the essential projects or the mission of this company is to have a multimodal logistic parks. So these logistic parks will be there alongside this dedicated freight corridors, so that a complete transport solution would be provided. It's not only about the corridor, it's having a complete solution, like all the necessary things that are needed for this flight corridors will be also undertaken by the DFCCIL. And of course, they have to support the ecological sustainability, that is the environmental things also they have taken into consideration considering the UN sustainability project. So this is basically in short the mission of the company. Next, moving ahead to the timeline of this as to when this company started and how it went through. So in the year April 2005, the Prime Minister at that time, they have announced this project DFCCIL. So in the February 2006, the CCEA, which is the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, they gave the in principle approval for the start of this project. So this is a brief timeline. You can see there are many details as to when the project was started first. So all these details along with here is given here. So coming to the recent developments, in the month of January 2021, Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated the Rewari Madar section, which was a 306 kilometer section along the WDFC. We can go through this timeline, so there is nothing much to discuss. You need to read and you have to remember. So these things can be asked in the exam. Now moving to the operations of this company, as to what all included in the operations. So along this dedicated freight corridors, only the freight trains will be operated. So this is the key, only the freight trains. There will not be any passenger movement. And coming to the capacity, so like there are so many details, like the trains will run with a higher speed of 25-ton axle to 35-ton heavy axle load. So they'll be having a higher overhead equipment of 7.53 meters. So the horsepower of the engine or the power locomotive of 9,000 on the western corridor and the 12,000 on the eastern corridor would be deployed. And like to track the freights or the trains, they'll be using a telecommunication signaling which is of the latest technology. And like one important feature is along the western corridor, they'll be using a double stack containers. So these double stack containers on electrified traction will be used, and this will be the first of its kind in the world. So this is one important feature. So these also you have to remember, there are some technical details. Now moving ahead to the features. So some of the important features are like the load capacity will be increased from the 5,300 tons to 12,000 tons. And the container capacity of these will be 360 TEU, which is a 20-foot equivalent per train. So the containers which these trains will be carrying would be of the higher capacity. And coming to the speed of these trains, the average speed of the train will be somewhere around 75 kilometers to 100 kilometers. So this is the faster when compared to the normal Indian railways, which are having an average speed of 25 kilometers per hour. So this way high speed is achieved with these engines, and of course the transportation will be done in a faster time. So next, coming to the financial model as to how this company will be earning its revenue. So mainly the DFCCIL will be taking the track access charges, which is the TAC. So this is the main feature with which the finance will be supported to this company. So like for this, they'll be using a two tariff model. So in this two tariff model, what will happen is one will be a fixed component, and then the second will be a variable component. So under the fixed component, irrespective of the usage, they have to pay a fixed component, whether it is the Indian Railways or the other retail user. So they have to pay this fixed. And along with that, they have to pay the variable component. So this variable component will depend on the volume of the traffic that is being carried across that site. So it will be in terms of the how much tons it is carrying, like gross ton per kilometer. So the finance will be coming from these two components. The revenue will be coming from these components. So next, coming to the other important technical details like the electricity and what is the meter and everything. So it will be using a transaction. The electrical line will be a 2 by 25 kilovolt, and the 50 hertz single phase line will be used. And like it will be using a technology of the double line automatic signaling, and then the standard of loading of 32.5 tons axle load, ruling gradient of 1 into 100, 60 grams, 50 kg per gram UIC UTC PSC sleepers. So a track center of 6 meters. So these are some of the technical details that you have to read and remember. There is no point of reading all these one by one. So these are some of the important details related to DFCCIL. I suggest you to go through all this and make a note of this, because in the syllabus they have mentioned that about the history of DFCCIL they'll ask. So if you have liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos. And thank you for watching.